What's up, Capstone family? This is Ed with Capstone coming at you here on this Friday, the 18th of December. Hey, it's a beautiful day outside. I am happy to be out here. It is a very wild week at Capstone. I've been out of the office all week, not necessarily sitting in this chair the entire time, but definitely had our bouts with COVID this week. I was, in fact, the carrier. Looks like I had to get that out of my system, and now we're good to go. Hey, but one thing that this has taught me for sure, it's kind of like that level up of 2020. Definitely feeling better about about things moving forward, because I had this fear of what this thing was going to do to me and how it was going to affect me. I've had lung issues forever from the time I moved out to Arizona with valley fever, and it was always giving me bouts of just challenges. Maybe it was like pneumonia and getting it more frequently than most. So I was a little more concerned and didn't know what that was gonna bring. My family and I are all healthy. Everybody's feeling. Rachel is about 4 days behind me. The most interesting part of it, all of it, was okay. The body aches were interesting. The lower back, that stretching it, anything. The stretching kind of helped, but not as much. However, the lack of taste and smell, for 4 days, it went away, and I've almost got it all back. I can almost smell again, but at least my taste late last night was my first meal all week that I was able to taste again, which was great. But thanks for those of you that reached out or at least mentioned something. I tried to keep it on the down low because I didn't want everybody to think that Capstone was going down because of COVID. I've been out of the office now for 10 days. And probably won't be going back. I've got to get a couple more tests before I can go back to say negative. And right now I'll probably just rock out the rest of next week and not have to worry about it. But again, we're on the mend there. Interesting topic. I wanted to bring something up. So I've been talking about it a lot. And one of the things, we had a great meeting this week about getting our the tenant to buy program. Last year, we lost like 20 tenants that did not let us know that they were going to be moving out until the nth hour, just before their 30 day. And, our direction is going one way. They're leading us to believe this. We didn't do a good enough job of really locking them down and recognizing what they were really planning on doing. And then they switch it on us and say, oh, by the way, we're buying a house. We're going to get out of that this next year moving forward. I just experienced it as the owner personally on a property that we have. And the tenant had come to us and he mentioned, he was just like, Ed, I'm interested in how do I break my lease? And I was just like, wait, why do you want to break your lease? Like, what the heck? And he said, I'm looking to buy a house. I said, okay, hold on. Use one of our agents. And he said, okay, I didn't even know you guys really do that. Okay, well, there's issue number one. First off, let's know that we buy and sell houses. Secondly, let's work with you so that we can make sure that we get the property back in better condition. I want to walk it and preview it as soon as I know that they're looking to buy, right? Like, there's all these things that we can do to ensure that if they're buying anyway, I can offset the cost for you guys, the owners, and we control that whole element. To me, yes, the commission is nice. I'd love for one of my teammates to be able to make the commission on that property. However, what I want for you, the owner, is I want control of that property. I want to know the condition that it's in. I want to know when I'm getting it back. I want to know when we can pre-market it. I want the blessing of the tenant to tell us, hey, this is when we're going to be putting it on the market, and this is how we're going to be marketing it out, and this is how clean, tenant, I want you to have the property in order for this to work. In addition, we'll still get a month in rents after the fact that they'll then get back. So in my situation, tenant moves out, right? I knew this 45 days in advance when he was actually going to be moving out, when his lease was going to expire. We'd already walked the property. We set the proper expectation with the tenant, knowing exactly what that was going to look like and what condition we needed it to be back in. And then he goes off and buys, has an amazing experience with our agent, and comes back, totally cleans the property up. It gives me elements. A lot of times when agents that are outside of Capstone are helping these tenants buy properties, they're in their ear. They're trying to give them all this feedback as to how bad the property manager are and what the property manager should really be doing and all this. Oh my gosh, it becomes such a headache. So in this situation, it just alleviates all of that. Then we can ensure that you don't miss any rents, and we'll cover the cost of putting another tenant back in your property, because we're going to be making a little bit of the commission that this guy made on the way out. So all in all, this is how it's looking. If this doesn't sound good to you, I would love to hear your feedback. For the longest time, we didn't want to do anything like this because I felt like it was it's our fiduciary responsibility to you to keep the tenant in the property. However, if we're going to be losing these people, there's a time when we have to look at this and go, stop. It doesn't make sense for us to lose the tenant and not have control over where they're going and what they're doing. I would rather be in a situation where we could preemptively have that answered and go into it where everybody wins. So we're hoping that this model moving forward is really going to work. We're going to roll it out here in 2021. A couple different things we're going to be doing is offering for the tenants. We don't want to start the conversation about buying until after they've alerted us. So what that's going to do, and this basically, our goal isn't to be pulling tenants out of our properties. You don't want to, have a vacancy, and we don't want to have to keep filling them. Honestly, that's not a money maker. That's not the way that Capstone benefits from this whole model. So what we'll end up doing is sending them new notifications at 6 months that says, hey, how are things going? Tell us about your experience. What are you planning on doing in 6 months? Then that way we can then put this thing together, make sure that we know exactly what this looks like, get back to you and say, hey, check it out. Tenant's going to buy. Like, they're already starting to talk about it. Here's what we're going to do. And then that way we can start preemptively and knowing that this person's got that in the back of their mind and control that whole thing. So we know the timelines, we know the dates, and you can properly be ready for it as well. Hoping that helps. Again, we'll be working out the kinks as we go along, but as an owner, this experience for me was great. Tenant moved in today, the 18th. The last tenant moved out at the end of last month. So realistically, I only had less than 3 weeks of vacancy. Tenant left it in impeccable shape. It was amazing. And we got a tenant in there, and honestly, because rents are going up, I'm getting $200 extra a month in rents on this stupid place. So, well, that's not a stupid place. It's a great house. But you know what I'm saying? Is it's like win, 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 win. How can I then replicate that for all of you? And I think at this point, I feel much more confident in knowing that I can roll this out to you, feeling like we're doing you a huge service versus pulling the tenant out of your property. I hope that helps. Hey, this is my weekly update. I hope you all are doing great. I cannot wait to be seeing more of you in person. And, likewise, I think, going into this next year, thank you so much for keeping 2020 just keeping us rolling and rocking, and with the feedback and with everything. It's been super, super, super helpful because, sometimes when we're doing this stuff, we're on a little island, and it's your feedback that keeps us rocking. So thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful New Year. I'll probably be putting something out next week just because, but thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to connecting again. Thanks.